Hey all, welcome back to the channel. Brendan here, aka Cliff Jumper, and today I want to show you this thing. This is an OBD-II wireless dongle. It's a scan tool that you theoretically can plug into any car to diagnose, check engine lights, find out what's going on, all the fun things. It is a very small package. This is the carrying case it comes with, which I'm stoked on because a lot of these tools just come loose and they get dirty and they get stuff in the contacts. But it is a pretty cool looking unit. The question is, how good is it? Let's try it out on a couple of cars and see. So if you can't tell, we are in my 2003 Toyota Sequoia. The Gen 1 Toyota Sequoia is notoriously difficult for scan tools to read. In fact, I had to buy a Toyota specific scan tool in order to read the codes off of this, other than the generic OBD-II codes. To get factory level codes on a car gives you insight to really what could be going on with problems. You can get generic OBD scanners to work with anything that's 1997 or newer. But to get the factory level tools, the factory level codes, often requires a special tool. So in theory, this MUCAR, this is the BT200 MAX. In theory, this should be able to read the codes on our Toyota Sequoia. Let's see if it does. Keys in the ignition, and then this is an interesting thing that I'll just let you know about. So MUCAR has their own software that you can use just by searching it up online. And it is, of course, called MUCAR. And you can run the thing off of that. But there's also a program called $Fix, which will also work with this. We're going to try the $Fix app. So it loads up fairly quickly. Theoretically, let's give you an idea of what it's going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and hit OBD scan. It's going to hit the connect now button right there. That is our device. I hit connect. It is connecting. We got a little thing, Bluetooth connected. It is pre-scanning the vehicle, looking for OBD-II codes. I like the little matrix display. That's kind of fun. Definitely appeals to me as a big fan of the Matrix and all things sci-fi. And it tells us a few things right off the bat. Now, I just cleared the codes using a different tool, so I want to see what it's going to tell us. And it tells us right off the bat, the smog check would fail. And that's because since I cleared the codes, none of the readiness monitors are set. So it is going to fail a smog test if I took it to test right now. If you don't know, if you haven't experienced this, just clearing the codes does not mean you can go past smog. You've got to drive the car through a series of complete warm-up, cool-down drive cycles, probably about 100 miles you need to put on your car before it would be ready to pass. And right now it's telling me, yes, I would absolutely fail, even though there are 0 fault codes detected and the malfunction indicator light is off. But I have 4 checks that are not ready. So it's telling me that, you know, some of the stuff is already checked, but it hasn't been able to do the readiness check on my catalyst. It has not checked the evaporative system, the O2 sensor. None of this is ready. So if I wanted to, I could generate a report that would send to my email. I don't really want to do that right now. I kind of want to go into enhanced diagnostics and see what would happen. Now, I know from experience that on a newer car, I could hit VIN scan. It'll automatically detect the VIN number. It won't do that on a 2003 Sequoia. So I'm going to scroll down and find my Toyota Lexus. I'm going to open up those codes. And it's going to think about it for a while. Diagnosis is starting. Okay, we are going to look at North America right off the top. Hit that top button, 16-pin DLC North America. And yes, I had to look up what these things meant. So if you open up this app and it gives you some weird stuff, just use Google. it'll tell you what you need to be pressing. And I will say this interface is not the most intuitive or user-friendly. This is more advanced for probably a more advanced technician with a little bit more education and training. But I'm going to be looking at my Sequoia here. So I hit Sequoia, and it looks like it's going to tell me what I got here. Yep, I'm going to hit OK, confirm, and it's going to head scan the vehicle data at this point. And health report, what's it going to tell me? This takes a while to do the health report. The last time I scanned the vehicle, it was about 10 minutes. So I'm going to do us all a favor, and we will fast forward. Actually, it's moving pretty quick. It's already up to 40%. So that's cool. 50%, 60, 70. This is going way faster than it went on my Volkswagen. So far, it's telling me no fault codes on the ABS, no fault codes on the supplemental restraint system, no fault codes in the body control, no fault codes in the sunroof, the back door. All right, cool. I've got no fault codes, which is great. That's exactly what I would expect because I just did clear that. Now, if I hit system selection, I can go into the specific systems and look at them. So if I wanted to say, look at the engine control, I'm going to hit that and confirm, and it's going to dive into that, and I can get some more information. Now, one of the nice things about this is it does not require a subscription at the time of filming. I know things can change, so don't come at me if you go buy this later and now they're asking for $2 a month or $20 a year or whatever it is. As of right now, it does not require a subscription. So I've got some stuff to look at here. Confirm, communicating. And it says there's a communication error with the ECU. So that's interesting. What if I want to look at ABS system? Okay, we could say read the data stream on the ABS system. And it looks like it'll give us an actuation test. That's really useful in an ABS system because it means you can bleed the ABS system with your controller here, which can be really helpful when you're changing your brake fluid. Okay, so I've got, it's telling me there's a problem with the ECU. I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on, see if we get better connectivity, and confirm. We're going to read fault codes and see if anything pops up with that. 0 fault codes. All right, cool. Let's see if it'll let us do the actuation test. Yes, it will. It's giving us a whole host of different features that we can actuate and test. That's great. I like that a lot. So far, thumbs up on the MUCAR because it's allowing me to access a lot of the factory level stuff on my Toyota. And I will just say that Blue Driver would not, Carly would not, Ansel would not. So 3 of the big ones that are out there really common would not let me access the features on our Toyota.
And now for something completely different.
Now, I did use this to scan our Volkswagen Jetta, our 2003, and it took a long time to scan it. And taking a long time to scan a 20-year-old Volkswagen, honestly, is not anything that I'm worried about, When I do the automatic scan using Rostec VCDS, it takes about 10 minutes to go through all the modules and scan them individually and then generate a whole report. And this is pretty much par for the course. When I do the enhanced diagnostics with the MUCAR, it does the exact same thing. It takes about 10 minutes to scan module by module and let me get a full report on what's going on with the car. So great. That is par for the course, not anything unusual or to be expected. And the fact that it was able to scan our Toyota Sequoia and our Volkswagen, and it doesn't require a subscription, that's pretty cool. It does give you some deeper diagnostic tools. You can actuate some of the things in the car using this, which is very helpful. So if you need to test a purge valve, you can activate it and do that. If you need to test the the evaporative canister valve, a lot of individual things you can test using the tools on here. So that is cool. And of course, the instant look at whether or not it would pass smog. So let's scan this car just for the heck of it, because I already scanned the Toyota. Let's scan this and see what it does. So we've got it plugged in down there, and being a Volkswagen, it's going to beep angrily at us until I close the driver's side door. So let's go ahead and close that. Great. And we'll see here. I need to look up Volkswagen in the list, because we're scanning a Volkswagen. All right, opening the Volkswagen thing, connecting device. All right. So let's do a system scan. Well, no, let's do a health report. So if I want to do that, communicating, please wait. Okay, and this is one where the last time I scanned it on this car, it took a really long time. So I expect that it will take a long time as well. But we'll see. So it's 3:08 p.m. right now. I'm going to guess it's going to be about 10 minutes to do it. And I might just leave this here while it scans. So
5 minutes later.
So it's 3:18. It took exactly 10 minutes to do the scan. And it has found a bunch of fault codes. So if I click on my engine electronics here, come on, it's interesting. There we go. Let's see what it tells us. Engine fault code. What have you got for me? Yeah. So I've got a catalyst system below threshold. That's not surprising. I've seen that code before. I've got a new O2 sensor that is going to go in, so that makes perfect sense. We'll leave that alone. Let's back up and look at the other modules here. That this interface is a little slow. Transmission. What have you got for me? Transmission electronics. I'm guessing it's a temperature code. That is a notorious code for an old 09A transmission. Yep, transmission oil temp sensor. That is not surprising at all. I can clear that one because it's just going to keep coming back anyway, but no big deal. Fault code's cleared. It's going to read it just to be sure. Interesting. It says no fault code, one fault code. So there's some user interface opportunity for improvement. What else we have? When you get to these factory level codes, it definitely takes longer. Airbag fault code. That's news to me. What's going on with my airbags? Supply voltage. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. It gives a lot of interesting information about possible causes for that error code that I wasn't aware of before. So that's a good thing. I'm going to clear that one and see if it comes back. So we read that code. Same sort of deal. It says one fault code, no fault code. So that's an interesting thing that this interface is doing. Instrument cluster, one fault code. I didn't know there were any instrument cluster fault codes. Why does that have a fault code? Is it another voltage issue? Let's see. The radio, okay, I don't have the factory radio. That makes sense. All right, well, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and clear that one because I don't care. It does not have the factory radio. And that will probably keep coming back. Data bus OBD interface fault code. That's another interesting one. What do you got for me? Oh, the radio still. All right, that's fine. Whatever. Now, it was about this point that my wireless Bluetooth microphone stopped working, and I got no audio for this clip whatsoever. But what I was telling you about was the pros and cons of this little MUCAR Bluetooth dongle that lets you check your OBD-II codes and factory level codes. I was very pleasantly surprised that it did pull up the factory codes on the Toyota. I was not surprised that it did the same on the Volkswagen, since the Volkswagen seems to work with a lot of these aftermarket dongles. But I do like the form factor of this. I do like the little pack that it comes with, the zippered pouch that you can put it away with. And the price point is pretty decent for what it is. So overall, I'll give it a thumbs up. Definitely, it's a worthwhile tool if you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on your diagnostic equipment. Now, it is slow. It took a very long time. I will say that the user interface needs a lot of work, and I expect that they'll probably do some revisions and it will improve. But as it currently stands, as long as you are patient, it works out just fine. So I will throw a link on my website, and you can get that. You can use it with, I can at least vouch for Toyota and Volkswagen. You got a different kind of vehicle, it probably will work just fine. It had lots of software for many other brands as well that you could download for free and use. Anyway, let me know what project you were working on in the comments, and thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you hitting like and subscribe before you move on to your next thing. Have a wonderful holiday season. God bless you, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back.